There we go. Hello and welcome to another episode of VR Download, a sort of weekly show where we discuss industry news and things like that. And the gaming stuff happens on Thursday. Hi, I'm your host, Kyle. And with me today is...
Hello, everyone. Ian Hamilton here with my Quest 2. I'm in a staged home right now, and it's kind of like an Airbnb, but I've been doing all this testing of the Quest 2 and the Ray-Ban sunglasses, and it's the weirdest location to try because it's like so much cleaner than my house at home. I don't even know if is that going to affect tracking? I don't know.
Well, probably, and we'll dig into that pretty hardcore. Before we get started, though, I want to say hello to all of our regulars out there in YouTube space. This is a live show, so if you're watching live on the YouTubes, then you can chat with us in the chat. And let's see here. We've got a few regulars, like I said, Onakazi, Opzar, Chris Richardson. Let's see, a few new people. Adam Hartzell, hello. Yeah, so did I get everybody so far? I think so. Keith, because you said hello, I'll say hello. And Isaiah and Maltier, Big Nick. All right, well, anyway, hi to all of you out there in the, dare I say, metaverse. Ooh, spooky new buzzword. Yeah, so normally our show is 2 or 3 topics, sometimes 4, sometimes 5, and we talk all about that stuff. But this past week or so, all the news has really been game focused. So I would imagine that our game show is going to be pretty epic. So don't miss out on that tomorrow. Today we are only going to talk about some glasses here, and there's plenty of discussion and controversy and things that we can go back and forth on. Now, luckily, Ian here has had an opportunity to play around with a pair of these, and I have not, even though I am bespectacled. Actually, as it stands right now, am I the only person on the team that actually wears glasses?
I don't know about Jamie and Zena. I don't. Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen either one of them wear glasses.
Yeah, I could use a small prescription, but I have yet to I need to go in and get them checked again. But I'll probably join you pretty soon, and that's something to consider when thinking about glasses for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's going to be crazy. I am going to, because somebody here in the chat, Agent M83, not to be confused with Agent M82 or M84, I need glasses, prescription glasses, prescription lenses for the Ray-Ban stories is basically the question. It's something we're going to talk about because even though we touched on it last week, if you missed it, this week we're going to talk about it again. And because I have opinions and comments and regurgitations on that particular subject, but I'm going to let Ian take it from here and talk about his experiences and kind of bring us up to speed on what these are, how they worked for him, and then we'll get into some of the deeper discussions. And before any of you jump in and go, well, why aren't you talking about other glasses? We'll get to that, okay? So hold tight. We'll get to that. So go ahead, Ian. Take it away.
Yeah, we'll definitely come full circle, whether these are smart glasses, AR, how VR relates to this. And I'll probably start off here by trying to throw up a video onto the screen here that I was just trying to capture here in this place that where I'm staying right now, that I was trying to describe as like super clean. It's cleaner than my house back at home. And so what I did here is, this is the Ray-Ban sunglasses here at the beginning of the video, recording me walking around this living room. And then I basically go to put on the headset, cut the clip, and go straight to a Quest 2 shot basically at the exact same aspect ratio, and walk the same space in Quest 2. And then you can see the couch as it's defined by sort of the experimental features on the Quest 2 right now to set a couch in your play space. And both of these videos, these clips, were both activated with the same wake word. So, hey, Facebook. And I was smart enough, I remembered to go back to my menu and turn that off in my Quest 2 here before I came into the studio, because it would have just activated for sure. Just me saying that here in the studio. But these are this is basically when you share functionality like that, it can't be kind of any clearer that Facebook is aiming for this to be kind of a shared system from AR to VR eventually. And recording video clips with sort of the same or similar wide field of view, uh, same sort of way of activating them in a hands-free way. It's just pointing to how similar these platforms are going to be over time. Let
Now,
me see.
Ian,
Yeah, sorry,
I'm
go ahead.
gonna interrupt you here for a second. I noticed because you were sharing some videos of the thing you just showed with the kind of jumping from this into the Quest. Uh, I didn't notice it until you shared that video of the fact that they're both square in
Yep.
terms of the capture, and I went, that's interesting that they both did produce that same aspect ratio, which is also wonderful for social sharing on the TikToks and the Insta Chat, Snapograms, and all of those things. Oh, and Facebook, if you want to share things on Facebook. It was interesting to see that those two things melded so seamlessly.
Yep.
And I was like, see, I didn't notice it until you showed it to me right there. And maybe some of you are going, and having an aha moment there. But go ahead. Sorry. Just
Well, so I've
observation.
got another video here that I did that I captured straight off the glasses, and it kind of it's me playing catch with my son outside of our apartment complex, and the it should be stretched out, I think, up on this TV right now because the aspect ratio is wrong. I was trying to get the black bars on it, but come up, but I couldn't quite do it. But this video, the stabilization on it with me moving kind of fast, it's just phenomenal. Just absolutely mind-bogglingly good. How nicely it stabilizes your view,
do,
and
do, do you think that it's stabilized? Was it software stabilization? Because obviously we've all done recording of, recording from the headset in a game. And it's like, I mean, there's no, obviously your head, we're not, like chickens when you move them around and their heads kind of stay in the same spot. It, is this software stabilized, do you think?
so I need to go back and look at the hardware, all the specs. I'm sure it's some combination of both.
Mhm.
Some kind of melding there of systems. It includes videos captured at 11. It's 1184 by 1184 pixels. So this square image at 30 frames per second. And then it's got 3 microphones on there, 2 little speakers, and the camera takes, when you take an image, it takes at a different resolution for the stills. And I don't know if I uploaded any stills for us to look at, but I did upload sort of a number of the steps that you have to go through in actually setting up this device. And there's a fair number of like interesting um, notes here that there's also like I was looking inside the Quest. I was looking inside the Quest system software, and in the menu systems for Quest, there's some similar dialogues to some of these things that are inside the Facebook View app that you've got to use uh, to actually download your stuff from the glasses um, to your phone. But if I go, the reason I showed that video again is that video never touched a PC editing program. It went from a Quest to the phone using the synced media feature that's now in the latest version of the Quest. And then the glasses video went straight from the glasses to a phone. And then they were just placed one after another with a transition in the iMovie app on iPhone. To get the aspect ratio right with the one video, I was able to use the Adobe Rush app on iPhone to get the aspect ratio right with the black bars on the side. But again, there's similar flows there for getting content off of both devices, and Mark Zuckerberg himself is sort of suggesting that he sees a future here after phones where you can kind of share content and be present with other people without actually needing a phone in the mix at all. But just kind of interesting to me that both these devices don't need either Facebook, because like they took out the Facebook live streaming feature from the Oculus Quest and um replaced it with this kind of like ability to get the images and photo and videos off of your device by syncing them to your phone. And there's still, of course, the side quest way of getting stuff off of your Quest by just syncing it to your PC. But kind of just, it's becoming really, really easy to get a lot of your content off of any of these devices. And there's a vision here for standalone AR and VR that doesn't require a phone actually there at all to do a lot of what you want to do. Um, that was one of the things that Heaney and I went back and forth on when we were talking about the latest Apple rumors. Was there were some reports that for full functionality you needed an iPhone nearby the latest the Apple glasses that are coming, or the Apple goggles. We don't actually know how slim they're going to look, but if you really have to have your iPhone near to have like basic functionality, that's quite a bit different than having kind of like the ability to, I don't know, email your friends if you've got a cellular connection, because you can do that with your phone providing you the cellular connection to your portable device, to your glasses. But if that's like the only reason you need the phone, that's one thing, and it's completely different from like if you need the phone to render or process large portions of what you see. And right here we've got a pair of glasses that literally pretty much the only thing they do right now is do the first person video that I showed. Uh, I've reached out to Facebook with some questions, and I'll go through them one at a time here to just really confirm where they are with this stuff. There are two cameras on this device, and you actually don't use the second camera for video, as it was explained to me. So the left and right cameras are used for capturing photos with stereo depth, which enables you to apply creative effects that leverage this benefit. For videos, only the right camera is used.
Okay. Wait.
Yeah.
It's got two cameras. And when it's taking video, video with depth, we're a few years down the road for that. Okay, I get that. Okay, where this isn't some sort of crazy light field capture device or anything like that. But it's taking two photos. Do you have access to both the left and the right photos if you go in and check out, or is it Facebook has the ability to do 3D photos if you have a camera that can, snap the right kind, and there's depth and moving around and all that stuff, and that's cool. Are you getting a left and a right here that you can actually look at and see the data and post a 3D photo on Facebook with it?
I have
how
yet
is that?
I've been focused on the video feature. I've been exploring, really, really looking at the video feature of it, and I haven't yet tried to kind of post some of the photos to different media formats. So like I have taken a bunch of photos, but I haven't tried posting them to the various routes. And I didn't upload any to our media system here to look at. But
So
when you look at them in the View app, you only see like a still image. You don't see two views when you actually look at it in the app.
So I wonder if they are identical cameras. I wonder if they are actually taking two photos with whatever your appropriate IPD is, because I know if I go in on my Quest and I look at my Facebook photos that have been posted that are 3D, They look really cool. You can, kind of see the changes as you move around. I would imagine that we'd be able to do that with the cameras on here. I'm really curious because this whole discussion isn't just about us talking about what this can do, but it's also about the potential of what it could evolve into, what it could grow up to be. This is the adolescence version. We still need to get into the, it has to go through puberty, I guess. I don't know what to say. It needs to pupate and go into a cocoon and come out and spread its wings and fly away. All those wonderful metaphors. Oh man, I have so many questions about the capabilities of something so simple. And then there's all sorts of fun ethical things that we can talk about whenever you're ready, Ian.
Yeah. Well, so like I think this is such a big subject. Yeah, Heaney is all in on VR, and I think he's just sitting this one out because he's got a headache. I think he said right before, which makes sense. You don't want to put a VR headset on when you've got a headache. But he's the anti, he draws a line at when it has good tracking and is actually able to show you visual images in front of you between what smart glasses do and what AR does. That makes a lot of sense. And it becomes this definition of terms thing, which we're not going to get into. But it is just such simple functionality to record your perspective. But it's kind of like, in my view, it's like the cornerstone feature probably of future eyewear. Like, it's the only thing I wanted to do with Google Glass back when it came out. And there's plenty of people out, I think, in our audience that have had spectacles, which have had similar sorts of functionality for years now. And then there's a whole range of other smart glasses coming out from various companies. It's just there's still a huge gap between something that takes pictures and something that actually believably inserts content into your view. But I still think if you're going to wear AR glasses out there in 5 or 10 years, being able to take a 10 to 30 second, 2-minute, 10-minute, I don't know how long it's going to go. There's people that would look at this and go, I want to record my whole day.
Right.
And that's going to be a weird thing to kind of like when you take out the whole posing in front of the camera behavior, the whole nature of photos and videos change. So like it's a very, very different type of image that comes off these devices when you as a group of people don't have to go say cheese in front of the camera person. So it definitely takes a different type of picture than ever has happened before, and multiple people have looked at the videos that I've shot with this and said it looks like an ad. And it made me think about it, and I realized that like lots of advertising out there go through this production effort of showing like actors who break the fourth wall and actually address the audience with a wide field of view camera to give you the sense of you actually being this person in the commercial. And that's been happened for such a long time. Here we are as people walking around with glasses, recording our lives and sharing those videos now on social media, and it looks a little bit like the advertising that we grew up with in some respects. So it's very, very weird.
I'm going to get a little deep on everyone here just to give my perspective. See, as soon as I did that, Ian popped out because he knew I was going to. All right. So here's I'm going to stir the pot. All right. And so be ready for this. I grew up in a world where, if there were cameras up on the ceiling looking down at you, people were concerned about their privacy. If somebody had and I'm just gonna, you can't see it, it's here, but I have my phone. And if somebody was holding their phone out here like this at me, I'd be like, don't take my picture. People would be freaking out. Okay. And then there was the Google Glass and the evolution of the expletive from that term, that you're trying to keep it PG here, family show. People were like, I don't want that. Don't take my picture. Don't take my picture. That evolved over time into now there's cameras everywhere. We live in a police state, but we don't, but there's cameras everywhere looking at us all of the time. And if you go to a concert, nobody goes to an actual concert anymore. Everybody goes to be the and I'm holding my phone up. Everybody goes to a concert like this and holds their phone up. And I mean, that's how they record their concert. And, you go to a protest or a rally or anything, everybody is recording everything all the time. I'm going up, I want to speak to the manager, and I'm holding my phone like this all of the time. We have become okay with it. And I think that this product is Facebook trying to make this acceptable. And I mean, Zuckerberg has even said things like that in some of his videos. Let's just all be okay with everybody recording everything all the time. It used to be so taboo that, you walk into a restaurant and you see a family sitting at a table and both of the kids are just face down in their phone the whole time, not interacting. And that used to be, you'd make fun of it. You go, oh, those parents, they should tell their kids again. Now the parents are doing it. Which means it's gone mainstream. It's acceptable now for everybody to record all the time, just the same way it's acceptable for everybody to stare at their phone all of the time. So this is Facebook, this is Zuckerberg normalizing the constant recording, which we kind of already are anyway. So that's my hot take. Now, I fully expect, I haven't looked at the comments yet. I'm expecting there's going to be people who agree and there's going to be people who disagree. That's what makes it a fun discussion. And that's how society evolves. Ian, what is your opinion on what I just said?
Oh wow,
Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
Yes, no, it's there's a lot to take in there. I think that's you described what I'm going to describe in just a slightly different way. They want, it's in Facebook's interest to get everyone out there discussing Facebook as a glasses camera maker. They're a fundamental technology company making new, never before seen technologies. And, it's been years where they want to be recognized for that, I guess, is what I'm going for with that. And what you're describing is kind of the same thing of getting people used to this kind of mode of capture makes a lot of sense. This thing, these glasses do let you listen to music. You can take calls on them. I can't remember if I've taken a full call. I think I did briefly, but it's so. I've also got AirPods, and sometimes those take over some of the audio stuff from these glasses.
So I have a question about that, but before I do, MX, I'm assuming that's a non-gendered thing, title, like Mr., Mrs. sort of thing, master. Morningstar says that if this was anybody other than Facebook, that it would be okay. I agree. However, Facebook has to do it before the Walmart version can come out. You have to normalize it so that way everybody else knows that they can do it. That is why Facebook needs to do it first. That way all the knockoffs can come out. And it might not really be knockoffs. Sometimes those are superior or much cheaper. I mean, when we get into pricing on this, there's a lot of reasons why this is not really ready for prime time yet. The bougie bleeding edge folks need to get it first, and then the lower versions come out, and then the rest of us, normies can get a pair. Of course, Ian's over here sitting all elite, having a pair already. That's not fair. But I do think that's correct. That if it had been anybody other than Facebook, then again, it wouldn't have gotten the same buzz because there's a whole bunch of other specs out there that are being released by other companies that we haven't talked about yet because they aren't Facebook. So we need to kind of bring that into the discussion at some point. But yeah,
yeah,
go
there's
ahead.
plenty of other hardware platforms here, but Facebook is that's kind of the when Apple comes out with their device, they're going to claim that they've done a lot of things first. I think a lot of people have joked that that's what's going to happen. But I think when we see whatever software platform is actually underpinning whatever device Apple actually comes up with, they may have a more polished version of like safety features than we've seen out of any of the platforms here, and that's such an important kind of like a step in all this. And uh, Facebook at the same, I find it interesting that Facebook uh, has these glasses out there in the market with Ray-Ban's branding on it. So it's very disconnected in some ways from the Facebook brand, while at the same time still requiring a Facebook account to use them exactly the same as a Quest 2. And they put these devices both out into the market. The Quest 2 going back on sale very recently after the recall, but with more storage, and Space Pirate Trainer Arena, which requires people to go out into the world with friends and find arenas that are large enough to take a Facebook computerized piece of eyewear. And here's this other device that takes video in sort of the same aspect ratio that is going to be used in very different contexts, that is powered by the same exact company. And that's going to spark a ton of conversations. And here's this screenshot from the setup system when you're going through on the app. And at the bottom, it says it suggests that you should do a little demo. You can show others how the capture LED works so they know when you're recording. And there's a couple other suggestions like don't capture while driving. Consider turning off your glasses to keep your focus on driving. And they're sunglasses.
What?
I
mean, they're glasses, right?
They're sunglasses,
like,
right? Yeah.
Should I take my glasses off while I'm driving? That's illegal.
Should I take sunglasses off while you're driving? I don't know. Like, what
I don't know.
Requirements
I mean,
are there?
hands free. Okay.
And it says, does it feel appropriate to take a photo or video? Should your volume be softer?
I have questions about that, Ian. How loud
Yep.
are these speakers?
I need to go. I wonder if I took a screenshot of the menu system, but like it defaulted to there's 3 different settings. There's like 1, 2, or 3 on loudness. And they're notable. Like you can hear them if you're listening for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the sound of the music sounds really good. You can set it at a volume where you hear it and the people around you don't. You can also set it at a volume where other people can hear the music coming out of your sunglasses.
That's such a weird sentence to say.
And yeah, like, and it is a weird feeling to be walking around going, where is that sound coming out of? And you don't even realize it is your sunglasses.
Can you connect? Okay, this is going to sound so stupid, but not really, because there's no earbud attachment. Like Google Glass actually had like an earbud attachment. Can you connect Bluetooth?
Not yet.
Oh,
all right,
there's
so like
so many weird questions.
All they've said on Face, so I asked them about more features, and literally, like, I asked them for the list of commands that you can use with these glasses right now. I wanted to confirm, okay, this is everything you can do with this device at present, and it's basically just the photo and video capture features there. Video recordings will stop at 30 seconds, and the assistant, so saying, hey, Facebook, will only work in English right now. And I asked, are they working on adding other commands? And all they said is that they've got an exciting roadmap. So very vague, but kind of a hint there that they are looking at adding more. One key question I did ask, though, is will you support Siri or Google wake words and their capabilities? and the quote response from Facebook is officially, quote, not at this time. So there's a lot you can do with a Siri or a Google personal assistant that you cannot do with Hey Facebook at this moment. And you can't be wearing these glasses and say Hey Siri to it and have it come through. It won't respond to that. So it's pretty limited right now in actually what it does uh, in, in substantial ways. But still, I think I've painted a pretty clear picture here of this overlap here between what they're doing with the Quest ecosystem and where they're pursuing AR. And I think it's a really, really good point about this is exactly where AR is right now. Like, doing AR better than this is what we will see probably out of a Quest Pro.
Man, and this is where I get a little itchy when people use the term AR. Everything is AR now. Like if they put any level of CG on the Weather Channel, it's AR. If they put a camera on a pair of glasses, it's AR. I'm just going to be really clear here. I don't think that these are AR. They shouldn't be called in my opinion, they shouldn't be called AR. This is pre-AR. This is prayer, like pray for that these eventually become AR. I'm serious. These are not AR. There's no level of mixing. It's not being absorbed through your eyes from the glasses. The glasses, all this is a camera. This is tech from a few years ago slapped on the side of glasses. That's it. That's all this is doing. There's nothing revolutionary about this. If you had a small camera small enough, yes, the design is neat, but this is just a stepping stone. This is not AR. That's not a knife. This is a knife. That kind of thing. This is necessary, but it's not AR yet. It is which came first, the Ray-Ban stories or the AR? This is not AR yet.
Yeah, so what I threw up here was the warning I got out of the push notifications on my phone that say the glasses need to cool. Your glasses won't be able to take captures, import, or charge until they cool. And then there was like another more active one that I put up there that actually popped up within the app. And this happened after recording maybe 5 or 6 videos in a row. Recording like I was standing sort of in a slightly it was the area where I was playing catch in, and there was some area that was shaded there, and there was some area that was just in direct sunlight. And recording several of these videos in a row set it into basically overheat mode, and I had to let it cool down and not use it for a few minutes. And people are asking about storage. There's also the note that let me see what they officially say about it. 500 plus photos or 30 plus 30-second videos. And when I asked Facebook how they actually like offload content off of this device, I wanted to really understand what was happening when you import stuff. Let me find what they actually said here. Where is it? Darn it. It was right after I asked about the Siri or Google wake words. Oh, I've got it. I know where it is. They basically said that when you import content to your Facebook View app, so when you're connect this to your glasses and actually do a syncing process, they say that the files automatically delete from your glasses. And then once it's in the app, there's a button to sort of save all your files to your actual photo library, where you can and from either place you can send them out to other locations. And I was trying to confirm whether there was like depth data stored with the glasses, and all they said, or with the files, and they said that there's metadata stored with the actual files, but they weren't clear on exactly all the content that's contained within the metadata. Photos and videos taken with Ray-Ban stories are saved as files on your glasses that contain metadata, like media captured with any other digital camera. The metadata includes information like time it was taken, the dimensions of the photo, what kind of file it was, and that it was taken with the Ray-Ban stories. If you share a photo or video to another app, including a Facebook app, that app could determine that the content was taken on Ray-Ban stories based on this metadata. Um, Facebook has just they've been pretty clear on a lot of things about how your data is used. And there were prompts through this process of turning off them accessing additional sorts of information. Let's see this one, if this shows it. Yeah, I thought this one was pretty interesting. And this goes back to basically what you said at the top of this whole show, Kyle. Um, you have this button here that says don't share. And it says, choose to share info about how you use your glasses and app. We'll use this data to improve and personalize your experience with Facebook products. You can change your preference in settings. Examples of what's collected: the number of images captured, time spent taking videos, and the average length of videos captured. Sharing this data doesn't give Facebook access to your photos and videos. And there's a button to click for learn more about privacy. And you can click share, don't share. With this information, they will understand a lot about battery usage on this device for all future AR endeavors.
Sharing this information helps them produce a better product. I get it. I understand that. Gosh, do we really live in a world now where don't share needs to be an option on our electronics? I mean, it just blows my mind. It's like, oh, don't share, don't do it. Like, I don't know. I just wonder about this sometimes. I mean, I'm a huge advocate for getting this stuff to evolve, and I would be the type of person that would share this because I do want them to have that data so that they can learn how to make a better product because I understand the process. But I also sometimes have my tinfoil hat and I stick it on and I go, stay out of my business. But something like this, I kind of understand the experience evolution. Man, I don't know. I understand that there's going to be a lot of controversy, and it's just a matter of time before the news, the mainstream media comes up and says, "Oh, everybody's recording everything all of the time," or will they? Will they or won't they?
It's
Is it over now? Are we past that?
I think it's interesting that the screenshot I showed back there where they suggested showing other people the LED light and sort of having a conversation about what these things are and what they do,
Help normalize
being
it.
kind of being this way to start a conversation about it, because this is different from Google Glass in that when you saw the person wearing that out in public, they stood out like a sore thumb. I mean, they just, it was very clear that they're wearing this computerized glasses device, and these could slip by. You don't realize that there's a camera. And the example that I kept thinking about is the video of me playing one-on-one catch with my son, and that's a very different situation from when we were out on the baseball fields and my mom asked to see the glasses because I was telling her about them. And I actually left them in the car socially. Like, I felt pressure to just, I don't need them right now. I don't want to have an awkward conversation about whether I'm recording. I don't want to have that conversation with another parent about recording kids playing baseball out in public. Like, I don't feel like explaining that to anyone. It's such a different aspect of me being seated and I've got my iPhone. And when my kid comes up to bat, I signal to everyone else out there. I'm standing up. I'm taking my phone out of my pocket. I'm pointing it just at my kid, recording them running around the bases, and then I'm going back and sitting down. And I've gone through this. Like, everyone can see what I'm doing is very different from sort of surreptitiously having glasses that all it takes is a quick button press on the side, and if you're not looking for the light, you can't tell it's recorded. And if you really, as people were sort of pointing out, as soon as these glasses were announced, you could put a marker or something to cover up the light. so that there is no outward notification for
Is it
people.
different though? I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Is it different holding up my phone to take video versus, holding it down here where nobody can see? I mean, there's nothing showing that you're doing a photo or a video from your phone. So people could be recording you all of the time. Is it really much different? I mean,
No, I mean, no, that's fair, but I mean, it's all up to the individuals and how they choose to use them. It's just,
well, and
uh,
collectively as society evolves, it's up to us all to decide whether this is acceptable or not.
I guess it's just people like to like dance on Google Glass's grave when it failed, and
Yeah.
it was such a thing that like you did stand out like a sore thumb, and it was so expensive. This is the exact same price. This is starting the exact same price as Oculus Quest 2. And so Facebook is getting a very interesting uh, insight into exactly what features people want out of future hardware that merges both of these things. Like if we're talking, Heaney and I go back and forth on this for a while of whether we're just always going to see AR devices trailing what VR devices do, and whether we'll see like the best AR experiences out of VR devices for the near term, uh, and how long it's going to take for us to get to this uh, small form factor for actually wanting
Mhm.
to go out in the real world and see things. Uh, it's going to take a long time, and Heaney and I go back and forth, and you've been part of those discussions where it's like, uh, what kind of device will we have in the next 2 to 3 years? Is completely That's a completely different device than the one we will have in 15 years that's able to do all of these things.
Mhm.
And how many years will AR devices be trailing what these I I want so I loved these that video that I captured with my son playing catch. I've wanted a video like that for a decade now. Like I since I saw Google Glass, I thought about like borrowing it from friends and or contacts that I've made, or the same thing with spectacles. And it's just never seemed worth the effort, and it's never seemed worth the cost of actually buying these devices for yourself to just record a few minutes every few days, where it's just perfect. But the thing I want to
Yeah.
note is you mentioned this, Kyle. Like I use these things crazy for like one day. I filled up the storage on them. I had to download everything to my device, and I was walking around my apartment complex without them on, and I thought to myself, "Oh, the lighting is pretty right now. Hey, Facebook, take a photo." And I wasn't wearing any glasses at all, and it was really upsetting to kind of like have this moment where like if Facebook is searching for ways to more seamlessly record, share content, have moments with friends, but like they one of the ways that they have thought about interacting with computers is literally just thinking things and having a computer respond to that thought. And there is a if we think this is sort of like surreptitious recording, imagine if a person could do it literally with a thought instead of actually verbally saying um, something, or actually pressing a button that's visible to everyone else.
So I have a Google Glass somewhere in a closet. I don't know. I've been trying to find a way to attach it to my standard specs, and I found a STL file I was going to 3D print, and I just didn't care. Uh, the thing that I wanted to do with Google Glass was we go to expos, we go to conventions, we go, CES, GDC, Connect, all the things. I want to live stream from a pair of glasses where I don't have to hold a gimbaled selfie stick or, my phone like this. I don't want to have to hold something. I just want it to be able to broadcast what I see. And if I look down at here, obviously pause it for restroom breaks and lunch, and nobody wants to watch me eat. Well, I mean, maybe they do. I think there's a whole YouTube craze for that. But I want to be able to use something like this to stream live so other people can consume my view, because that's what I do at shows, and that's what people want to watch, is to live vicariously through somebody doing something you aren't able to do right now. uh, that is a feature, and I think that this will play into something I want to ask you, Ian. That's a feature that these should have. Even if it uses my phone, stream from this lens to my phone out to the interwebs so people can consume my view live, not 30 seconds recorded 10 minutes ago. I want it live right now. I want to be able to go to a concert through these. I want to be able to go to an expo through these. I want you to be able to see my view through these. And that seems like a feature that these should have. And Ian, I don't know where you want to head next, but I have questions about what you would want these to do. Now that you've had them and played with them, what do you wish what's your wish list for, Ray-Ban Stories DK2?
Great question. There's a huge gap before this has a display system, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know what makes this a more complete product before you add a display system. Like, uh, Harry and I were talking about, like, yeah, it plays music. Why can't I store 150 of my favorite songs on the glasses themselves so that I can just wear the glasses and not have to actually stream the music from my phone? Um, and
Hold on. Before
yeah,
you go any further, this is essentially an input device, like a mouse or a keyboard or a camera. This is an input device. An AR headset has to have output as well. Ooh, there you go. That's the difference. This is an input. There's no output. I
I
mean,
mean,
sure,
audio.
there's speakers,
It's only
but
got
big
audio.
deal. Big deal. I mean, everything has audio nowadays. I mean, you know, fidget spinners click and make noise. I mean, that's not really audio. This is an input device. So, what do
Uh,
you want from
It's
an input device feature?
I'm just saying it's not just that. It's an output device that knows you're logged into, like, who it knows who you are. It knows your Facebook account right at the setup of this system is logging into your Facebook. So this is an input and output device that knows anything you've dumped into your Facebook account. So that's potentially a lot that it can use to tell you information you want to know, assuming it has an internet connection. But right now, it's relying on your Wi-Fi. I mean, it's relying on a device in between for some of those things. But I will be curious to see if this kind of gets some more personal assistant features without a phone in between, just by connecting directly to Wi-Fi. It's just that every one of those queries, I so distinctly remember getting the first iPhone and, like, doing the pull to at first the pull to refresh wasn't there yet, but doing the, like, fetch new messages thing to get new mail into your phone, and you could almost watch the battery indicator go down on your iPhone as you're doing these things that require you using your cellular connection. And so, just I don't know, using your phone as a relay in between you and the internet actually is a battery saver, I think, because you're not using it for the personal assistant all the time. Using a personal, like, again, there's literally the only commands you can ask this thing are record your perspective. As soon as that becomes tell me the weather, get my directions, uh, what are the stock, all the things you would ask a personal assistant, uh, anything you would ask Google or Siri. Once it does those things, this becomes way more interesting. But right now, it's just so limited.
So James, don't underestimate audio as a form of feedback and output. Okay, I rescind some of that comment. Audio is a very powerful output, and so yes, I guess since it's not visual output, is where I'm kind of drawing the line. I mean,
Yeah.
audio output.
So Bose had the AR. Bose had their
right.
own
That's
things that
been-
were doing the audio thing, and I totally was sort of behind drawing the line there.
Mhm.
I
Well,
if you've
VR
got more than these 4 questions, if if you've got turn-by-turn directions, if you've got a little beep that says, walk left now, and it's right 99% of the time,
yeah.
that's a pretty effective AR feature in my mind. That's like what these AR glasses have promised. And even if they aren't showing you the arrow to point you left around the corner right there on the actual road in front of you, it's still telling you at the exact right moment. But even telling you at the exact right moment is extremely difficult.
So the difficulty with the Bose AR glasses, I've tried those. I've done them. I have video. I don't think I ever shared that video. What are we laughing at?
Agent M83 is comment. I'm not even going to read it out loud. It's just making me laugh. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. I when I had the Google Glass, I said, don't get it wet because it'll multiply into millions of little. Yeah. Anyway, I tried the Bose AR glasses, South by Southwest, did the whole little thing, and conceptually giving me directions, telling me to look left or look right and do all of that stuff. It was very clunky and very inaccurate. Conceptually, it's a good idea. I don't think Bose's implementation of it was quite ready for consumer level. It was a good idea. It just needed to be hashed out a little bit more. And so that is a feature, though, like you said, with the personal assistant. I'm outside, I'm walking down the street, I have my sunglasses on, and I ask, hey Google, what's the weather today? And hey Google, cancel. Google, cancel. Hey Google, shut up. Okay, well that I can do that here at home, but if I'm outside, I don't really need to know what the way. It's like those weather rocks. If the rock is wet, it's raining. If it's cold,
let me ask you a question. Do you use AirPods?
Sure.
Or do you use any kind of like
I do
wireless?
have a pair of AirPods. Yes, I use them for I use them for meetings and music. That's about it. I'm not constantly wearing them everywhere. No.
Well, so the AirPods Pro and sort of like the high end version of the AirPods, they're doing some stuff with like pass through where you can like switch between.
Yeah, I have Pros and I have that. Yeah. But I still don't want something.
You don't use that walking around the real world. You're not that guy.
I'm not that person. It may be a stigma thing. It may just be that I'm not constantly interacting with my technology. I don't know. It's a good question. I know that I use the pass through. So that way, if somebody comes into my office while I'm working, I don't not hear them. I would imagine on an airplane, which I haven't been on in a couple years now, it would be a benefit. But yeah, I've had them for a little over a year, and I'm just not the all the time kind of person.
So, going back, I'm seeing a lot of people talking about context and whether what you can really do with the audio aspect of AR. And I just want to throw out there, I did ask Facebook on the record, so I have sort of their statement explaining why these things require your Facebook account. So yes, these do require your Facebook account, and the quote is, Ray-Ban Stories is built in partnership with EssilorLuxottica. I don't even know if I said that right, and Facebook. Using a Facebook account allows you to connect to Facebook services like direct sharing to Instagram stories and helps us maintain your privacy and security. Helps us maintain your privacy and security.
Our privacy and your security.
Yeah,
they're protecting you. Your security, right?
Yeah, they're positioning themselves as they're like protecting the user of the glasses. Is that?
I guess,
and also the people in the videos and photos that you take. I don't know.
So VR Dynamite in the comments, I think we are giving way too much coverage. I hope I said that long enough for you. Way too much coverage on a product Snapchat did years ago. This has nothing to do with VR, AR, R's.
Is that Heaney? Is Heaney in our comments?
No, it's VR Dynamite. Here's the thing. Um, it, it, I agree, but I also disagree. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we constantly talk about products that don't exist yet. I mean, just look at the information that we've talked about stuff that's going to be kickstarted. We've talked about things that, the hype train is real, and this is just like another hype train type of thing. But it's not. It's more than that. That's the thing. I'm a little flummoxed too. VR Dynamite, your point is valid. And I get that people are like, why are you talking for an hour on these stupid glasses? Well, I mean, they're not stupid because, like I've said numerous times, they're building blocks. They're starter pieces. Uh, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. This is just a step. I mean, we can see where this is going. We've seen Facebook at Connect show long-term plans, and this is page one of a long story that's coming, and we all want to see it. We all want to see where it goes from here. It is really tough. I mean, you know what I almost feel like, Ian, is that what we need to do is, as they come out with new versions of this, because I'm sure that Ray-Ban Stories DK2, yes, I'm going to keep calling it that, uh when that comes out, we have to have a beginning and an end, because we've seen that at Connect. We'll have to go find that video of where they're showing like the AR stuff, and maybe it wasn't Connect, I don't know, I can't keep track of where all this stuff was shown. But long-term stuff, where is the long-term end goal? This is just step one, and that's the reason we're giving this product that much airtime. Really, that, and the fact that there wasn't any really good news to talk about at this on this show. We didn't want to skip because we know that you guys love to come in and talk with us. So there's all that. Ian, were you afraid that these things were going to explode on your face at all?
No. I didn't take them near the pool though. I put them in their carrying case and their charging thing when I went near the pool. Uh, and I didn't. I sweat in them less than I sweat my VR headset. So
Okay.
I haven't taken them on a bike ride or a run yet. So I have no idea what they're like in sort of those sorts of situations. I threw up this image back to that criticism of this just not being VR. Facebook Assistant, this new sort of thing that's ambient and always there to help you, is there in an Oculus Quest 2, and it's a feature for you to turn on in their settings. And so, like, there's again overlap, huge amounts of overlap in the functionality that are going to be possible with these glasses, and what you can do in a Quest and a Facebook VR device. And the model for privacy that they're choosing to go with here, of individuals being individually responsible for their own safety and their own uh, ethical use of, you know, ethical use of recording, right? Like, they're sort of modeling for you in this app that you should let other people know when you're recording them. Um, and here they are and they're also with Quest, sort of like, if you want to go find your area and use VR out in a public space, you can. We're not involved. So, like, this, it's very clear from both these devices. They're kind of like, yeah, they're trying to change norms. Like, if you go back to our interview with the Space Pirate Trainer devs, there's this moment where they don't know how dramatically their game is going to be adopted. It could be just this niche thing that a few people go and do once in a while, or like, the very last comment of my interview that I published was that maybe it's just commonplace in a few years for you to take computerized glasses out to the racquetball court or the soccer field and use it for a VR or AR experience. And we don't know whether that's going to be the case. This device may help make that more commonplace by making those norms less uncomfortable, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you right now, just to get into Space Pirate Trainer Arena DX Deluxe, whatever. If it hadn't been VR in the time of coronavirus right now, if the COVIDs weren't a problem, I would easily grab everybody in my neighborhood who has a VR headset. So all four of us, and go down to a indoor soccer arena, which there are plenty of them all around. I mean, I could invite everybody in a 50-mile radius and have 100 people with quests all playing Space Pirate Arena at an indoor soccer field, a soccer court, not pitch, whatever it is you want to call it. And that would be a glorious thing to have. Now, timing is unfortunate. Typically pandemics can kind of poo-poo your plans, but yeah, just give it some time. The fact that it's out and it exists and that this is a real thing. I said that the idea of a VR arcade had a lifespan of about 5 years. And I said that about 5 years ago, not knowing that, some terminal pandemic would show up. But other than that, I think that the evolution is a bunch of people grabbing their headsets and getting together in an indoor arena, taking over a school gymnasium, that sort of thing. That is what will happen next. Oh,
Yeah,
this was
so
so much fun. Gosh, I loved that.
one of the questions out there was asking about sort of the adjustment of the sensors. So they were like, I think the wording of the question was, how easy is it to something like, how easy is it to change the indicators? You can adjust the volume of the sort of notifiers to say that it's recording, but you can't turn off that sound and you can't turn off the light. But you could still physically go and find a way to block the light, if you really wanted to, I think, is the overall uh, way to misuse this. So I don't know if there's an easy. So on Quest, I didn't get this out of Facebook yet. Didn't ask them this direct question, but on Quest, they sort of suggested that the light was actually connected to the power running to uh, the cameras. So if the light turns on, the cameras turn on. And I haven't actually confirmed that the Ray-Ban glasses function differently or the same.
Maybe it's time for me to go and grab my Google Glass and dust off and see what I can do with it in relation to how far have we come in terms of technology other than form factor. Are there things that the Google Glass can do versus the Ray-Ban stories? I mean, has anybody done that comparison? I have not gone and looked to see if anybody has done that type of comparison. Now, obviously, I don't have a pair of Ray-Bans because the prescription lenses. Let me touch on that really quickly. Prescription lenses do exist. You have to have a current, meaning less than 2-year-old prescription that you text message. I'm not kidding. Email or text message to a Ray-Ban number or contact, and then they will make the lenses for you. Now, when I tried to purchase a pair, because the Ray-Ban stories are $299, and then after the lenses and tax, title, license, and all that nonsense, it was $600. It was over $600. I think it was like $612 or $615 US dollars to be able to get a pair of prescription lenses in the Ray-Ban stories. Not having a current prescription and that price led me to say no. And it's unfortunate, but it led me to say no. So somebody had asked that in the comments. Hopefully you're still watching. I'm sorry it took so long. Reason to stay till the end of the video.
Well, so interesting you bring up a prescription. I mean, prescription is a huge issue, and it's kind of like a big issue that it doesn't exist yet on VR headsets. I mean, you go buy aftermarket.
Yeah, I have a pair right now in here. Yeah, they were like $50-$60, no big deal.
Did they swap out or they go on top? Was that?
No. They're just like caps.
Yeah.
They're just caps. And I was super surprised at how easy they went on and how, I've tried a couple pairs. The pair I have in right now, I couldn't even tell you what brand they are, so don't ask me. I love them. I absolutely love them. They snap on. They're also kind of lens protectors, like a polarizer on a camera lens, and I just wipe them off. And if they get a little scratch, no big deal. They're perfect, and they just stay permanently. Yeah, my glasses are over here on my desk.
So I mean, imagine the flow. I think it's so interesting. Like if you go to the Apple app and try to buy the new iPhone, they've built out this flow that like lets you specify your carrier, the storage you want, the color you want, the accessories you want, and even put it on like a monthly plan for a credit card, so you don't have to pay more than $150 or $180 upfront for your $1,000 device. And you're in and out of buying this device that could be shipped to you in like 2 days, or in some areas like same day. I think they've even got that built out, all within this app experience. There's nothing like that for buying a VR headset or AR glasses just yet. I remember being at the Magic Leap event, and they did this thing where they were measuring your IPD, and you had to go and like go through this whole measuring process before they would actually put a Magic Leap device on your head. Um, think about like that whole flow of like getting you your aftermarket prescription filled should be part of the VR headset buying process, along with making sure that the headset matches your IPD range. Or yeah, so there's all these things that like you should be able to do 5 taps on a phone or a computer to go and buy a device that's tuned specifically for your face shape and your prescription needs. But that doesn't exist yet. And here's Ray-Ban. This partnership gives Facebook another sort of test to build some of that they can take to their VR headsets and sort of apply what they learned over here with prescriptions and that sort of thing.
You know what you just prompted me to think about, and I'm just cracking myself up here. Okay. Imagine Apple comes out with their true AR headset, okay? And you go to your local, T-Mobile or AT&T or whatever Verizon store, and that's probably where the good leaks are going to be. The leaks are going to come when those devices have to be sold at these stores, because that's where Apple products are sold. All of those people are going to have to be trained to, like, if there's prescription lenses, how's that work? If it goes over top, which I really hope that they go over top, like they look like big old like grandma glasses, like I used to wear at the early days expos. I don't want to have to remove my glasses. Anyway, imagine the amount of training that these cell phone stores are going to have to give their employees to be able to properly sell an AR device. That's not a device you could just go, here's your new phone, here's your new AR headset. I'm predicting that's where the leaks are going to come from.
I was thinking, you got me sort of started there, where there's this feature that Apple rolled out pretty recently with their little answer to the Tile devices. I can't remember to AirTags.
Yeah.
And the AirTags, as I understand the way that technology works, they kind of phone in or call home whenever another iPhone walks by, or another iOS device comes within distance of this actual tag. And it, maybe I'm misconstruing this. Heaney, correct me in the comments if I misrepresent this. But by sharing sort of anonymized tokens between these various devices, it can kind of like phone home, and the only person that can go and get the location of that particular thing is the owner of the actual gadget being found. And I often wonder, like, that if that's Bluetooth based and it's very low power hungry, whether we might see a peer-to-peer things done in the future with messaging or with transactions that isn't reliant on having a full Wi-Fi internet connection. If if you and I had a pair of sunglasses that could, like, if I could get more or less my latest info from your glasses just by becoming, close enough to your glasses or to your phone, and they all exchange info over Bluetooth, is it possible to have kind of like a device that doesn't require a constant monthly payment to a carrier in order to kind of have the latest information all the time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we're getting there. We're evolving into things like that. Personal area networks and wide area networks and all the 5Gs and the 6Gs and all the G's and all the R's coming together, making the world great. I don't know.
Facebook is working really hard on sort
Yeah.
of their cryptocurrency stuff, and I guess I wonder if there's some use for it in powering the underlying tech of some of their
You wanna,
ambitions to move beyond cell phones, because they have to find a way to get people not to rely on needing their iPhone or their Android in between getting their music, their photos, and that other information. Anything else that these devices make them more useful.
this is a little strange. Note Morningstar notifying people nearby that you're recording. Could you imagine just Ian's just walking down the road, and all of a sudden he hears someone is recording you, and he's like, like I can just see Ian freaking out.
It's like, and I get a little pop-up request. Would you like to play Hunter and Assassin? Would you like to play Predator right now? And like, I'm going to get chased suddenly. I'm getting chased suddenly through the streets by the person that's recording me.
Imagine going to an expo
arena too.
But imagine going to an expo and having that feature turned on. Someone's recording you. Someone's recording you. Someone's recording you. Someone's recording, because it would be everywhere. What is happening? What was that?
What did you do? Did you say it too many times and you summoned the Google monster into your house?
Something happened. Something happened. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Oh, Ian. So lively conversation today in the chat. I think it's really a lot of fun to have these conversations. As much as I'd love to just sit around these big circles of people, enthusiasts like we used to have at the expos, I kind of miss that. And so this is a lot of fun to have the chat and the folks in here, regulars. We really appreciate it. Ian, I think for a subject that a lot of people in the chat said we shouldn't have talked about at all, we've talked for 75 minutes,
including Heaney. Yeah, I think we've covered it. I mean,
we've beaten this horse to death. Yeah,
we don't need the smart glasses. They are what they are, right? I mean, they do a few things, and this one does them really well from what I've seen so far. It's just, it's still going to be, they've got such a long hill to climb to make them a more useful device.
Well, and like I always say, it is what it is until it isn't. Then it's not.
And people are. I loved all the comments from people bringing up Strange Days. You didn't even have to bring up Strange Days.
I love
the 1995
movie. Gosh, I love that movie.
Such a good movie. There's like a black market for videos where people have died while recording their perspective. And then other people bringing up, of course, the Black Mirror episodes.
Yep. And we're just inches. I mean, we're inches away from having a movie called Being Ian Hamilton, instead of John Malkovich. Being Ian Hamilton, where people could just see through your eyes and walk around and a little controller. What does the Ian controller look like? Send me images.
Show stuff going on.
Yeah.
We're gonna have all sorts. I mean,
Hollywood has been priming us for this stuff for years.
It is because of that priming. It makes it really awkward to go and see your own perspective and know that like that perspective is going to outlive you. Other people are going to be able to see from that perspective. The people who you're looking at can look through your perspective. It's game changing when it comes to the way images and videos are captured. And all those speculative fiction sci-fi worlds, like yeah, they gave us warnings, but they're not actually going to show us the way it's going to play out in the real world.
And it was invoked earlier in the show, and that's the only reason I'm bringing it up. You should post a photo of you wearing the Facebook stories as you're like peeking out of the shower. You should post that picture. I think that needs to happen. That needs to happen. Yes, the chat encourage Ian to post that photo. We know who we're tagging.
Never gonna happen.
Yes.
Notice, there is. I took photos of I did this thing where it says in the warning not to take photos while you're driving. So while I was parked, I was wearing my mask because I was going to go through drive-through, and I'm doing the mirror thing, and there's a beautiful sunset going down over there, but you can see myself in the mirror. Notice I have shown no photos of myself in the glasses. I don't care. There's a difference between what the devices capture when you're looking out and seeing, and actually how you look in them. And they look like Ray-Ban sunglasses, and they look like Ray-Ban sunglasses sitting on my head. I don't really feel the need to advertise the way I look in them. I don't know.
Well, I'm waiting for the TikTok sensation of people wearing the Ray-Ban stories, and then you do the whole in the mirror in the dark Bloody Mary thing. Somebody with some good video editing skills can make some pretty fun videos with that. So looking forward to that as well. The shade. Oh, I love it. The shade. Oh, Agent M83, you get the dad joke award for this one. Oh, throwing some shade. Oh, that is beautiful. Even I'm cracking up over that one. All right, let's wrap it up. Yeah, let's put a cap on.
We don't need to talk about smart glasses anymore. Heaney, next time I asked to talk about smart glasses that don't have great tracking and environmental understanding. You can tell
it's
me
probably what caused his headache and why he couldn't join us. You
can tell me. You can show him this recording, and we won't do it. Yeah.
Right. So, okay. So let's wrap this up. Thank you to all of you out there in YouTube land. And also, if you're listening to this as an audio podcast, thank you to you as well. Hopefully someday you can come and join us live and make comments, the same things you're screaming at your phone as you're listening to us on the podcast going, no, I have comments. Tell us, leave comments. Like all the YouTubers say, subscribe, hit that bell, bash that button, whatever, do all that stuff. We really need to get an audience in here. I just would love to see a field of heads looking at me and putting their face palming. All right, everyone. I know
he only has me responding to his dad jokes, and I'm worried that it gives you fuel. It just drives you to the next one.
It does. Oh, it does. Yes, I feed off of the Ian cringe. That's my food, my lifeline. Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for watching or listening. We'll see you in the future. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.